Welcome to the introduction to MR-Payroll for Front Accounting ERP video. This is the first part in a series of videos on MR-Payroll. In this video, we will talk briefly about Front Accounting, then how MR-Payroll came about, its features, and the menu interface. Finally, we will discuss the things that need to be done to get MR-Payroll ready for regular use. So, shall we begin? FrontAccounting is a web-based open source accounting software for small and medium scale enterprises. It's user-friendly, includes a number of standard modules, and is used by many organizations worldwide. Its multi-database feature means, for instance, that data for different subsidiaries could be processed, each being allocated its own database. MR-Payroll was created in 2017 by Microsoftware Research Limited to meet a client request, since payroll is not one of the standard modules of front accounting. The client needed a payroll system to go with front accounting, and since we had been working with payroll software for many years, we quickly created a version of one of our existing payroll applications. MR-Payroll for front accounting has the following general features. Payslip reports are formatted 2 copies per A4 page, so each payslip is in A5 size. Rounded pay processing for cash paid employees. Unlimited number of staff records. Each staff is assigned a flexible user-defined 10-character ID. Then unlimited number of pay items, that's payments, deductions, and loans, with automatic tracking of loan balances. Unlimited number of pay locations, departments, and pay points. Optional interfacing to general ledger module. Automatic but optional pay tax and tax-free pay calculation. Optional support for graded payroll. Adjust the employee's grade level and step is required for computing the gross pay. Employee information management includes basic data such as name, photograph, position, section, department, category, location, as well as biodata and contact data like telephone, email, and contact address. Now that we have heard some of the features of MR-Payroll, let us see it working. Let us see the MR-Payroll in action. Now, MR-Payroll is browser-based. So this means it can be installed for use in an office local area network, and it can be installed in a server on the World Wide Web. You can access it with any web browser of your choice using your laptop or desktop or tablet or even your phone. You only need to know the right URL or link. For this demonstration, we will be using the following link, which is on our website, microsoftwareresearch.com/FA246PA. And then we will be using the user ID demo and the password pass-D-EMO. So here I've got the link. I'll simply click on it to start. Okay, here we are logged in. This is the MR-Payroll main window. In your organization, MR-Payroll will be installed with a different URL. So you need to know the right URL for your company before you can go in. Now, in the course of this video, we'll be going back and forth between the user guide and the MR-Payroll application. So here we got the user guide, and here we got the MR-Payroll application. You can get the user guide from this address, microsoftwareresearch.com, download FrontAccounting-MR-Payroll.pdf. Okay, so this is the MR-Payroll main window. The menu has 4 sections: transactions, process, inquiries and reports, and maintenance. Now, above these sections, you can see the active database. This is the active database, FrontAccounting plus Payroll. The server, the name of the server, MicrosoftwareResearch.com, and the user administrator. That's on the left side at the top. Then at the right, you can see the place to go when you want to change your password, which is here, change password, and also when you are done and you want to log out, which is here. Then down below here we've got the date and the time. Now, these 4 sections presently contain 19 items. During customization, more items will be added as the need may be. So next we'll be discussing the setup requirements. Before that, let me quickly run through the many sections. Transactions, employee variable, that's for entering things that change from month to month. Allowances that are not fixed are entered under employee variables. Then the process section is for starting a new payroll, calculating tax, posting the payroll, ending the year. Inquiries and reports are for getting information. You got employee inquiry, that's for getting employee information, payroll history, inquiry. You want to look up someone's payroll history, you go there. Then payroll reports, that's for generating reports. And then finally, the maintenance section is where setting up data is entered. Setting up data consists of what you have on the right, all these items on the right, and then payroll defaults, pay item, and of course the employee list. So after your on-site training session, we shall be on ground to import and set up the necessary data for you. But right now here we will simply show you how the setting up is done manually. Okay, setting up MR-Payroll is involves 4 stages. The first stage is security and configuration. We need to enter user rights, what people can do, and also we need to set up the list of users. So under security configuration, we have the setup tab. Setup tab under the setup tab, we've got 2 items there: access setup and user accounts setup. While access setup is for viewing, changing, copying, or creating roles, user account setup is for adding, removing users, their passwords, access rights, or roles. So access setup is for the roles, user account setup is for the users. Each of those 19 menu items on the menu are linked to one or more roles, and each role is then given to one or more people. Okay, so what we mean is that each of these items on this menu are assigned to a role, and then a role is now given to one or more people, one or more users. Now the demo login that we are using has the system administrator role, which includes all available things that can be done, all available roles in all the modules of front accounting. So let's see what these roles are, what these demo roles, system administrator roles are. You go to access setup to have an idea of what the roles are. Okay, so this is the screen, the menu screen for access setup. And we want to see system administrator. Okay, so system administrator, these are the roles, the categories of the roles. Roles are grouped by modules or categories. So we have system administration roles, company setup roles, special maintenance roles, sales and configuration roles, transactions, purchase configuration, purchase transactions. So all the modules in FrontAccounting, these are all the available roles. And we are more interested in MR-Payroll. So we go down until we see MR-Payroll. So under MR-Payroll, there are 13 roles: employee entry, employee salary entry, employee variable data entry. So these are all the different things that can be assigned to different people to control what they do, what they can do when they log into MR-Payroll. So MR-Payroll has 13 roles at the present. So this can be increased later on during customization. Okay, so now we have seen what the roles are. To demonstrate, we are going to create a new user that has employee entry access as what they can do. Okay, users are under user accounts. Okay, here is existing user demo administrator. So we are going to add a new user. For the new user, we will use ABCD as the user ID, then ABCD as the password, and then when we are done filling the form, we use the add new button. So a new user has been added. You see the new user here. User login ABCD, full name, testing. Access level, employee entry. Okay, so this new user will only be able to enter employee records. Okay, so we are going to log in using that new ID so that you can see the effect. First we log out, and then we go to login again, and then we put in the new ABCD and the password of ABCD. Aha, so here all the menu items have been disabled because this new user cannot go there cannot do everything. The only thing that is enabled is employee, because this is an employee entry user, so has right only to the employee list. So that is how the security system works. Let's log out and go back to our demo login. Okay, so to summarize, the first stage in the configuration of MR-Payroll is to set up the users, set up the access rights, what they can do. And the next stage is payroll configuration. Payroll configuration involves the pay item, payroll defaults, the salary table, and tax table. Pay item, let's go there and see. Pay item is where the list of payroll items are created, where the list is maintained. So the payroll system involves allowances, deductions, loans, and here is where all the items are created. So here you got the item code, the item name, the type, allowance, loan, or deduction. Then whether the item is taxable, whether it is a fixed item, the item rate, the item unit, is a salary scale, then the general ledger account. Now in most data entry screens of FrontAccounting, you will see the pencil icon and the X icon. The pencil icon allows you to change what's on that row. Okay, so if you click the pencil icon, the content of that row will be displayed on the form below the list. And then you can now edit the form and save it. The X is for deleting. So if you have a row that you don't need anymore, to delete it, you use the X. But of course, before something can be deleted, some checks may be done by the system, and if there is an issue with deleting that item, you'll be told about it. So here the payroll items are listed. If you want to add a new item, you simply come to this form, put in the code, put in the name, put in the type, whether it's allowance, deduction, loan, and then is it taxable, is it a fixed item? Fixed items are things that remain the same from month to month, like basic salary, transport allowance, while variable items are things that change from month to month, like overtime and some deductions. Item rate, this is applicable to variable things that change from month to month, like overtime, there can be an overtime rate, then overtime rate, then the number of hours will be entered for each pay period to calculate the total overtime amount. Now item unit, okay, that also applies to variable items. Salary scale, if the item is part of a salary table. And once the form is completed, you can add new. So this is one of the places to enter payroll configuration information. Okay, the next area is payroll defaults. Payroll defaults is where you specify payroll options. For example, should it generate GL journals, general ledger journals? Should it post gross to location, general ledger accounts? These are checkboxes for yes or no. Use graded salary table, yes or no. If the company has the salary table, then this will need to be checked. Use annual salary table, yes or no. So this will need to be checked, and so on. Then on the right side, data entry defaults. These are the values that are assigned when you are adding a new employee. So all these things here, the new employee will have headquarters as the location, default department, the default section, the default category, bank as breakpoint. Then of course you can still adjust them for each employee. So the payroll defaults have variables that determine how the payroll works. Then salary and tax tables also come under payroll configuration stage. MR-Payroll has the Peter 2011 tax table configured. If your company uses a salary table, it will also be configured as part of the installation of MR-Payroll. Now, we'll show you examples of what the tables look like. For now, editing of the tables has been disabled for users until a later time. We will do the setup and configuration of salary table and tax table for you as part of the customization stage. Now, this is what a salary table looks like from another of our payroll applications. Here you got the grade level at the top, the upper section. You have the salary grade levels will be listed here, and each level will have the number of steps. Then for each level, down here you have the payroll item, the starting amount, and the salary increment for that level. For MR-Payroll, the salary table that is built in has grade levels 1 to 5, each of 5 steps, and 3 items: basic, housing, and transport allowance. Basic salary starts from 10,000 for grade level 1 to 100,000 to 11,000 to 118,000 for grade level 05. Then increments 1,000 for GL01 to 20,000 for GL05, also for basic salary. So this table is what is installed, what comes with MR-Payroll, and during customization we are going to update it if your company needs a salary table, or if your company uses a salary table, then we'll put in what your company uses in the grade levels and the pay items. So that is payroll salary table. Then this is what a tax table looks like. In the upper section, you have the different tax tables will be listed as they become available from time to time. So, like Peter 2011, the name, personal income tax amendment, the tax exempt gross 200,000, the minimum tax and maximum tax for that table. Here we go 1% and 24%. So in the upper section, the different tax tables will be listed as they become available, including the tax exempt gross, the minimum, maximum. Then for each tax table, the tax rates will be listed along with the applicable tax-free items. So these are the tax brackets. The first 300,000 here will be taxed at 7%, and these are tax-free items applicable for that salary table. If you are not in Nigeria, whatever tax table that applies to your region can be installed in your database, of course. Now, as we can see here, the Peter 2011 tax table provides for tax exempt annual gross pay of 200,000 or 1% of gross, whichever is more, plus 20% of gross. The tax-free pay calculation is built into the MR-Payroll module. So the MR-Payroll module does the tax pay calculation for you. Then again, the Peter 2011 provides for non-taxable deductions for life insurance, National Housing Fund, and pension payments. These items here. Then there is a minimum tax rate of 1% and maximum tax rate of 24%. That is this and this. The tax rate, the tax brackets, 7% is for the first 300,000 of taxable gross. That is this. Then followed by 11% for the next 300,000. Then 15% for the next 500,000, 19% for the next 500,000, 21% for the next 1,600,000, and 24% for the rest. That is this 24% maximum for the rest. Okay, so that rounds up the payroll configuration. We start with pay item, payroll defaults, then salary table, and tax table. That is the second stage. Remember, the first stage is security, Now the third stage of setting up MR-Payroll, the reference data. What we mean by reference data are things that are used in an employee record. For example, the department of the employee, the section of the employee, the designation. So for reference data, we got all items on the right side of the maintenance section. So all these things are reference data. We need to put up the list of pay points, the list of pay points, pay point code, pay point name, whether it's the person is cash paid, then the list of departments where employees work. We need to put in all the departments, the list of sections, if there are sections in the company. So we need to make a list of all the sections. Designations, list of jobs available in the company. We need to enter all the jobs because these jobs will be assigned to employees. The locations where employees work, we need to enter the list of all the locations. Finally, employee categories. We need to categorize our staff, put in the list of all the categories. So this is the reference data that needs to be entered. So to demonstrate, let's add a new pay point. Here we've got bank, cash, and GTB as pay points. Right, let me add Access Bank as a pay point. So we could use AB. And then I will add new. Click on add new. Okay, so here it says new pay point entry has been added, and you can see it right here at the top of the list. So that is how new items are added. Simple as that. Okay, so we've done security, we've done payroll configuration, we've done reference data, and finally, as part of setting up MR-Payroll employee, we need to enter the list of employees. So we go there, and this form that comes up. Go to the biodata section, classification section, dates, the image, tax data, blah 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 blah. Okay, then that's general settings. Then we also have tabs for fixed item, for loan, if the employee has taken a loan, and personal GL accounts if an employee has their own GL accounts. To demonstrate, we are going to add a new employee. Okay. We give the employee an ID. Let me say CLE, surname, person's surname, person's first other names, person is male, person is married, person has 2 children, then the telephone number of the person, no, the email address of the person, put in the email address, put in the home address, and then over here the ID card number. Every person has an ID card number. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Location. Location is reading headquarters because of the payroll default settings. So if the person is not in headquarters, you can go and change it. Then department, let's say the guy is in the technical section, software, category, group, designation, then manager, pay point, the access card, grade level, and grade step. These two are applicable if the company is using graded payroll. So stipends, and then employment, date of employment, last promotion date, increment, blah 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 blah. Tax free, so on and so forth. Financial data, the pension ID, the bank account number, put it in there. Then you got the picture of the person, you can upload the picture. But now let's insert a new employee. So here is our result. New employee entry has been added. Okay, so that's that. But that is not all. After you have added all these general settings, the next thing is to go to fixed item. Let us see. Let us recall what was just entered. Okay, so this is the record I just entered. Now we need to click on fixed item, especially if you are not using graded salaries. If you are not using a tax table, fixed items will need to be put in manually. But if you are using a salary table, then the grade level and step would calculate the fixed items. So in this case, I need to put in the basic salary of this new guy. To do that, I click on the pencil, then down here I put in the basic salary, say 100,000, and I click on update. Okay, now the basic salary is reading 100,000. I'll do the same thing for housing allowance. Say 40,000. Okay, so the housing allowance is now there. I do the same for transport allowance. So as you're putting in the items, it's calculating the net total for you. So that's how we put in the fixed items. Then if the employee has a loan, you click on the loan tab. The loans will be listed here, but right now there are no loans. If I want to give the person a new loan, fill in this form, add new. Put in the loan item, the loan amount, interest, if any, the date it was taken, the date it will repay from, then the total installments for the repayment. So to calculate the deduction amount, then you click on add new. Right. So that ends the setting up of data for MR-Payroll. Done security. We start with security, assigning what users can do, and putting in the list of users. And then you have payroll configuration, where you put in the pay items, the payroll defaults, and the customization of the salary table and the tax table. Then we got the reference, entering the reference data, and finally entering the employee list. So we have now come to the end of this video, where we introduced MR-Payroll and its setting up. In the next video, we'll discuss regular operation of MR-Payroll. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions or comments, please send us an email, admin@microsoftwareresearch.com. You can also use the comment section below the video.